Hey guys, thanks for watching the Team House. I hope you enjoy watching the show as much as Dave and I enjoy doing these interviews every week. I want to thank everyone who supports the show, especially our patrons. Those of you who have been with us for a long time remember our old set where it was like a white cloth in the background and the audio and video and the internet connection was always terrible. But you guys stuck with us, and really it is because of you that we're here in this new set and that we've really been able to up our production. So I wanted to let all of you know who are not patrons that the best way to support the stream, to support the Team House, is to join our Patreon. There's a link right down below, and those of you who sign up and support the stream will get access to ad-free episodes, both the video and the audio, and occasional bonus content as well. So we'd really appreciate it if you guys consider supporting the Team House.
The Team House with your hosts, Jack Murphy and David Park.
The funnier story, so that was kind of a sad, serious story, but about a month later, I get bit by a rabid dog. So all the animals out there, like the dogs, packs of dogs and cats are just feral, and there was a pack of dogs that would often roam the village, and one day I just happened to be walking over to a group of people that were out under a tree drinking some tea. And part of my job was just to go around and talk to people and build rapport and, gain that cross-cultural understanding and trust. So like if we did implement projects that people knew who I was and trusted me and knew my face. And so I was just going over to sit with some people and drink tea. And as I'm approaching them, they're like raising their hands to wave to me, and their faces just were like this look of horror. And before I could even turn around to see what they were looking at behind me, I felt this thing like grip my leg, and then I felt the teeth sink in. It was this huge dog had like bit into the back of my leg and was like pulling my leg. And these people are watching me get attacked, and so I started throwing rocks at him, and the dog runs away. But I was bleeding. I still have the scars. There's like 4 canine holes in the back of my leg. And I had to like limp back to the mud hut, and I had like a first aid kit with like 2 band-aids and like some rubbing alcohol. But again, I had to explain to folks like I need to leave. And the village that I was in was like 4.5 miles off the nearest road. So I was nervous. I didn't know, like, did this dog hit an artery? Like, am I going to bleed out here? So again, I was like, hey, like, if something happens to me and like I go right now, like, can you guys again please make sure my body goes back to my mom? My mom was like back in the US, like they couldn't talk to me. There was no cell phones, there's no electricity out there. I was just like depending on these people to like take care of me. And they did. They watched out for me. They helped me like limp out of the village and get to the main road where I could like hitchhike and get a car into the city and get back to the Peace Corps medical office where they treated the wound. But that was scary. But yeah, I mean, all's well that ends well. I was fine. But it was just, again, in the moment, having to like use what little language I had to navigate that situation. Because at first they were like, well, we don't have any doctors out here, but there's a bush doctor. And I knew this dude. He was a funny guy. He'd like walk around. Yeah, it was a shaman, and he'd have walk with like pouches of snake teeth, and he'd like give people blessings. And like one of the first weeks that I was there, like some little kid came to my hut, and he had like a bone was like protruding through his arm. He had like fallen or something, and he's like, "You're white, you can fix it." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not a doctor. Like I don't. Again, like I have like a kit here with some bleach and gauze, but I couldn't help this little kid. Somebody had sent him to my house. Like there's a doctor in town." I'm like, "No, I'm not here. I'm not here as a doctor." But they didn't really. They still weren't getting used to me. So this kid had come to my house with his broken arm, and the shaman came and treated it, which was like wrapping it with some leaves and like putting dirt on it to try to like clean the wound. And so I was like, that image was in the back of my mind when I was bleeding out the back of my leg, and the folks that had come in to the hut to see what was wrong, they were like, we can go get him. And I was like, you know what, the Peace Corps, like there's like a white people doctor that we go to when we get sick. And like, I mean, that's the language I use. I don't say like white people. It was like literally like that's what you say to refer to like the foreigners. They called us, the word for foreigner was Batura, which is white person. So I was like, I got to go to the Batura doctor, and they got some special medicine for us. So that was kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, it ended up being fine. But again, like language and culture, like, which is really, really important.
What were you